Good day. Hello, Denise. Hello, CJ. Um, thank you for being here. Carol, thank you very much for your donation. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Um, and everybody else who has donated, CJ, Denise. Today is July 3rd, 2025, and it is Thursday. Um, if you're watching now, you might be one of the lucky ones because once we touch on this next subject, I think they might send some strikes my way. I'm not going to project, but getting into the Talmud is risky territory to be exposed as they will be in the next couple of days. Truth is the truth, right? All right, let's get started with Good Day Rising prayers. And oh yes, I'm going to attempt to sing O Salutaris. And today's Mass is being said for Lila LaPlante. In nomine Dei, matronum nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Most Holy Trinity, and in Catholic contemplation humbly venerate the Divine Family. Most Holy and Venerable Trinity, one Divine Family, I believe that Thou art here present. I venerate Thee with the deepest humility. I render to Thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to Thee. O Most Holy Trinity, relying on Thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of Thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Most Holy Trinity, I love Thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because Thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of Thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Most Holy Trinity for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven, and for the souls in purgatory. O Most Holy Trinity, I most humbly thank Thee for all the favors Thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to Thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in Thy service. I consecrate to Thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by Thy love, or that would not tend to Thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Most Holy Trinity the graces which are necessary to us. O Most Holy Trinity, Thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of Thy grace. Deny me not Thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which Thou forbiddest, to practice the good which Thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please Thee to send me. O Deum Matronam Nostrae, Mother of God, I place myself under Thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of Thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O Most Holy Trinity, as envisioned by St. Lucia as the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended Thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because they offend Thee, O Most Holy Trinity, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of Thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, oremus. Fidelium Deum Iesum Christum, omnium conditor et redemptor animabus, famalorum cetuorum, remissionem cunctorum, tribue peccatorum, ut indulgentiam quam semper obdoverunt piis supplicationibus consequentor. Qui tecum vivit et reinat in una divina familia qui erat est et erat in aeternum. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hoc maculatum hostium, quam ego in linius famulus tuus offedi tibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro in nomine viribus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed et pro omnibus fidelibus, catholicorum vivis arque defunctis ut mihi et illis proficedat salutem. Deum qui humanae substantiae dignitatem mirabilit condidis et mirabilis reformaster de nobis, perius atque divinum mysterium, eis divinitatis esse consortis qui militatis nostrae, fieri denotis est pateceps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum depecantis clementium, ut expetu divinae majestatis tuae, pro nostra et totius mundi salute, cum adoris suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo, contrito suscipiam arata Deum Iesum Christum, et sequiet sacrificium nostrum ex spiritu hodie, ut placiat tibi Deum maternam nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificita plata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas, Sancta Oblationem cum tibi efferimus, a momum passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum Maternam Nostra et Papa Peter Sanctorum, et Istorum et Omnem Sanctorum, ut illis proficiet ad honorem nobis autem ad salutem, et illi pro nobis intercedere in interim caelis, quorum memorem agimus in teris per in Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut mem ac vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat per Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nominis sui ad utilitatem quoque nostrum totiusque, ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum obiscum, quoque apud te, sursum corda habemus a Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igitur limites mi mater et pater, Deum Maternam Nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae, supplices, rogamus et petimus. Ut accepte habeas et sanctificas haec sanctam sacrificium idibata. In primis quae tibi efferimus pro ecclesiam tuum sanctum catholicam, quam fecificare custodire ad honore et regere dinedis tot orbiterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famalorum cetuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for Johann Santman, Katie, Gage, Eleanor Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Letitia Mindy Claret, Mark Jr., Robert Dasco Sr., Jr., and Rochelle Dasco, Barbara and Benedict Santa Croce, Gregory Santa Croce, Malachi Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, Luis Antonio Cantu, the Cantu and Duarte families, Michaela McLarnon and family, Sarah, Becky, Janelina, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Line River family, the Cahill, Kendrick, Shorten, Nolan, Dasco, Kane, Nye, Tafur, Began, Wolf, Camerano, and Pohalski families, and all their intentions. We pray that Mr. Nobody receives the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantes Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, and time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange with no usury. We ask that all history that has been hidden be revealed. We ask that courageous men step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. We ask for a reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity, that women cease working for Freemasons and corporations, that they come to understand the raising of traditional Catholic families is a very high ideal and a necessity for sustaining a Catholic society, that men at work choose not to sell their souls, that they may speak up against injustice and wrong, especially when asked to do it. We pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves in our air and in our homes. We ask Catholic families to be Catholic, to bring back Catholic morality and values and virtues. That Catholic families focus their attention and time towards the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany for the salvation and freedom of souls, of Catholic souls from the heresies of the Jews. We ask you to remove and destroy all forms of Freemasonry and guide the members into the submission of the Trinitarian Theophany through correct baptism and confession, that all those with hardened hearts may be softened to be able to see and embrace the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany. With this Mass and our rosaries, we ask you to destroy the Satanic document of the Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud, that you destroy Rome and the Vatican, and that we recognize the authority of the Catholic Church to be in Portugal. Most Holy Trinity, we ask that all Catholics be given the grace to be accountable so that we each may have a holy hatred for sensuality, as St. Catherine of Siena encouraged, a repentant shame for the offenses we have committed and continue to commit against thee, and a deep love of thee and of souls, so much so that we desire nothing more than to be of service to thee in every moment of our lives. We ask you to nullify any attempts to establish anti-Semitism propaganda into any rules, codes, laws, statutes, or policy. And Dea Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. With our rosaries and this Mass, please eliminate any obstacles in front of those who are trying to nullify the state of Israel. Please eliminate the Jews who tortured, crucified, and continue to insult your Son, Deum Iesum Christum. Thank you for answering our prayers. All this we ask in accordance with the Most Holy Trinity's divine will and intention. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fidis cognita est et nota devotio, pro quibus tibi afferimus, verque tibi offront hoc sacrificium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum, pro spe salutis et calamitatis suae, tibi quae redunt vota sua, aeterno Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et memorantes in primis gloriosae, semper Deum maternam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum Papa Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis precibusque concedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae munum auxilio, periendum Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus, consecratem acceptabile fecere digneris ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi Filium Tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretur recepit panem in sanctus aquam hablis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in calamate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum sum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecravit fregete di quelum sui dicenza cipite et mandocate exo omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremoniae est accipienset hunc preclarum calicem in sancta sacramentablis manus suas, item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Consecrave dedique lumnis sui dicens accipite et bibite ex e omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum. Haec est cum purificeritis in memoria facietis. Unde et memores Deum nostro tui, sed a plebs tua sancta iustum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beate passionis nec non et benferis resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosae, ascensionis offerimus, praeclarae maiestati tuae de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio ac sereno utu respicieri digneris. Supplices te rogamus, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iube hic preferibus manus tuum, ut quod ex hoc auctaris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem sincerimus, omni sanctificatione calese gratia Dei per amor per innum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died, and we especially pray for Lila LaPlante, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum in Christum quiscentibum locum refugere illucis et pacis ut odore gesta proclamar per innum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est ibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, Matronum Nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum, sanctam tuam in mulieribus, Dea Matronum Nostrae, Materam Deum Iesum Christum, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quaesimus, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, abondibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Dei Materam Nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis, da propitiis pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti te peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione securi. Per eundem Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque pote. Haec mixtio consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum fiat accipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, quabrante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam mundum vivificasti, libera me per sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum abonibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis et facme tui semper inharare mandatis, et atinum quam separari permittas, qui cum eodam Deum matronam nostrae Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio copris tui Deum Iesum Christum quod ego indinius sumere praesimo non mihi proveniet in idicum condonationem, sed pro tui pietate prosit mihi ad tutumentum mentis copris, et ad me delam percipiendam, qui vivis et regnas cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem calestem excipiem, et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Dea matronam nostrum non sundinius, ut et suscite meis in tanto di querpus semper anima mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sundinius, ut in suscite meis in tanto di querpus semper anima mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sundinius, ut in suscite meis in tanto di querpus semper anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retrubum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quae retrubut mihi, calicem salutaris excipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis salvus ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animum tuum. Quoris sumus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiam et setibunere et tempore fit nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod sit sanguis quam petavi heriat visceribus meis apraesta, ut in me non remaniat scella macula quam purat sancta reficero sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote. Oremus. Animabus quesumus Deum Iesum Christum famolorum cetorum, oratio proficiat a supplicantium, ut eas et a peccatis omnibus exuas et tuae redemptionis facias esse participes. Qui ticum vivit regnat in una divina familia, qui erat est et erat in aeternum. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, ite missa est, Deum gratia. Plagiativi Sancta Trinitam, obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium corruculis tuae maestatis in unus autoritivis et captavere mique et omnibus, pro quibus idut autolis iti miserante propitiae per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. Most Holy Trinity, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinity, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of God Jesus Christ, who was, is, and ever shall be, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of God our Lady, who was, is, and ever shall be, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum, Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O salutaris hostia, quae celi pandis hostium, bella premunt hostilia, da robus fer auxilium, uni trinoque Deum, sit sempiterna gloria, qui vitam sine termino, nobis donet in patria. Highlights of the 1901 Jewish Babylonian Talmud. I'll be right there. The Satanic Lord of the Jewish religion, quote unquote, exposed like never before. Let's move me into the picture a little bit. There we go. Good day, Greg. Good day, Peter. So on this page of the website, there is links to this book, if you want to call it that. And we're going to go through it, some of it. On the surface, Jews who study the Talmud seem devoutly religious, especially to the Goyim. It makes sense because, after all, who has time to read 20 volumes of the Babylonian Talmud? as most people struggle to meet the demands of the state economy in their daily lives, reading thousands of pages of Jewish reasoning is above the patience level of most goyim. Only 3% read books of any variety. This is unfortunate because within these texts are some very dark and disturbing details, backed up with critical facts that reveal the satanic origins of this Jewish quote-unquote religion that controls the world via its legal system of Mosaic law. Remember Moses? The burning bush? This Fatima movement chapter exposes their Jewish Lord system as the satanic construct that it really is. Thanks to the internet, we are able to use their quote-unquote holy scrolls against them. The Lord of the Bible, the Novus Ordo Mass, and the Quran is Satan. The New World Order gets its power from the Babylonian Talmud God. So here's a quote from the Babylonian Talmud on page 166. Let me see if it's referenced here more details. It's not, but that's okay. Satan then ascended before the Holy One. Blessed be he, and said, Lord of the universe, I have looked for the Torah on the whole earth and could not find it. Unquote. Then said the Lord unto him, quote, Go unto the son of Amram, unquote. And Satan went to Moses and said to him, quote, Where is the Torah which the Holy One, blessed be he, gave unto thee, unquote. I'm going to read some more quotes. This is not from the Babylonian Talmud. Quote, The smoke of Satan has entered the temple of God through some crack, unquote. Paul VI, 1972. Quote, And he said, I will go forth and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, Thou shalt deceive him, and shalt prevail. Go forth and do so, unquote. 3 Kings 22:22. Quote, And the Lord said, Thou shalt deceive and shalt prevail. Go out and do so, unquote. 2 Paralipo Menam, 18:21. Quote, In the God of Moses, it is jealousy of the infringement of the autocratic power, the check to political treason, and even the penalties denounced for worshiping other gods often seem dictated rather by a jealous regard for his own greatness and deity than by the immortality and degraded nature of the worship itself, unquote. Morals and Dogma, page 688. The true, quote, the true word of a Mason is to be found in the concealed and profound meaning of the ineffable name of deity, communicated by God to Moses, and which meaning was long lost by the very precautions taken to conceal it. The true pronunciation of that name was in truth a secret, in which, however, was involved the far more profound secret of its meaning. In that meaning is included all the truth that can be known by us in regard to the nature of God, unquote. Morals and Dogma, page 697. Quote, It was a common practice with the Talmudists to conceal secret meanings and sounds of words, by transposing the letters, unquote. Morals and Dogma, page 699. We were informed, quote, We were informed lately that the Most Reverend Father Ventura, formerly Superior of the Theatines, Bishop's Examiner, etc., after reading our, quote unquote, doctrine, declared that the Kabbalah was, in his opinion, an invention of the devil and that the Star of Solomon was another diabolical device to persuade the world that Satan was the same as God. Observe what is taught seriously by those who are masters in Israel." Unquote. The Doctrine of Transcendental Magic, 1896, Part 2, page 87. In 1222, Pope Innocent IV ordered the burning of Jewish books. He exhorted the Catholic King of France as follows, quote, "Our dear son, the Chancellor of Paris, and the doctors, before the clergy and people, publicly burned by fire the aforesaid books," the Talmud, "with all of their appendices, and that you command throughout your whole kingdom that the aforesaid books, with all their glossaries, already condemned by the doctors, be committed to the flames." Unquote. That was the bull from the Roman Pontiff 4/509. For the most part, the 20-volume Jewish Babylonian Talmud is a set of written laws and regulations governing everyday tasks, such as, quote, when to take a bath, unquote, financial transactions, and when a loud chicken should be slain. Jews who make a show of, quote unquote, devoutly upholding these tenets are promised to rise up Jacob's ladder in hell, because on the surface, these followers of the Lord appear to regular people to be living a pious religious life. But reading into these Jewish authoritative texts reveal a hidden society of rabbinical hazing, Jewish elitism, and even regulations governing sexual intercourse with girls as young as 3 years old. 3 years and 1 day, period. Aside from seeing who the Jews really are in the video, there is no better way to expose the sickening depravity of the satanic Jewish quote-unquote religion, which is based on the, quote, fear of the Lord, Satan, unquote, than to see it in the plain text of their own religious books. The best way for a Catholic to expose the Jewish quote-unquote religion is to simply show people these disgusting details straight from the source of the Jewish quote-unquote religion, and that source is the Babylonian Talmud of 1901. It is impossible to argue with printed facts, which is exactly why the Fatima movement has compiled this section. I'm going to quote here from a close-up of John 8:44, referenced by the Protestant pastor who interviews Rabbi Abe Finkelstein of New York, scanned from the original 1582 Dewey Reams, full page here. There's links and videos, and the entire book is there as well. For more information, see the Fatima Movement Files, The Lord is Satan, Our Lady is God. And from that book, that scan, John 8:44, you are of your father the devil, and the desires of your father you will do. He was a man killer from the beginning, and he stood not in the verity, because verity is not in him. This is the Old English, and verity is truth. And again, down further on, the Jews therefore answered and said to him, "Do not we say well that thou art a Samaritan and hast a devil?" Jesus answered, "I have no devil, but I do honor my Father, and you have dishonored me." The interview of the Jewish rabbi Abe Finkelstein of New York above is cleverly conducted, a Jewish Masonic Aryan supremacist. The Aryan supremacist talk show host claims to be a follower of quote-unquote Yahweh, which is actually just the English name of Satan, the Lord, the God of the Jews. Even Wikipedia is picking up on this now, and they actually show that on the Wikipedia page. I bet you since Wikipedia gets updated constantly, they probably removed that now, but It's there it's a screenshot on the webpage. This Fatima movement chapter serves as a type of summary for busy Catholic priests who do not have the time or patience to read 20 volumes about the basis of Jewish Mosaic law and its regulations, which form the basis of our slavery to the Jewish race in this world. Extreme care has been taken not to misquote these texts so that the student can witness the depravity of this Jewish Lord religion firsthand. Page numbers and links to the particular volume of the 1901 Babylonian Talmud are provided in each example to quickly navigate this confusing set of books and easily retrieve the source data for evidence. Scans of the Babylonian Talmud pages in question are provided with the Catholic response immediately following. So we're going to end it there for today, and we'll continue on tomorrow. And tomorrow is Fasting Friday for those who wish to participate. And again, first Friday tomorrow, first Saturday on Saturday. All right. My mother is coming for a visit, the first time since my father passed away, and I ask all of you to pray for her safe travel, and hopefully she handles it well. She's had a rough time. You know what it's like when the two become one during marriage, which is what happens. We know that it's very difficult to have that removed in this life, and the mourning process is an important one, but it's also important to have family around, which we know. All right. I'm just reading your note there, Peter. Thank you very much. All right, please go and sanctify all those who you meet, and we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Have a great day.